Hey everyone, welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound, and we got a good one here for you today that I want to talk about that I'm really excited about because I used to be into Canadian coins so much. So it's great to see a sale of this caliber come up through eBay. All right. Now, granted, it's not like one of the higher priced Canadian coins that you could find out there, but this one is definitely worth mentioning for a number of reasons. Now, some of you astute collectors up north of the border, okay, are very familiar with the Bobcat Reverse 1967 quarters. All right. For some of us here in the lower 48, all right, we've seen these coins quite a bit. All right, you know, they're available in coin shops or available traditionally in bulk type status, you know, like junk silver or even nicer quality collector grade type stuff. I mean, we see these all over the place. All right, and to kind of give you a little bit of kind of backstory on this particular coin, because it looks like none of the other designs where you had the reindeer reverse. Okay, that were what we're normally used to seeing on these. All right, this one has a bobcat. So in 1967, the Royal Canadian Mint decided to do a 100-year centennial kind of anniversary on this coin. All right, it's the Confederation Centennial Coinage Program, is what they called it. So they redesigned the reverse for the penny, the nickel, dime, the quarter, and the half dollar. All right, so all of them have a different animal of some sort on the reverse. Okay, on this particular coin, it's the bobcat. Now, at the same junction in 1967, the price of silver skyrocketed, all right, because up to this point, the Royal Canadian Mint has produced quarters in 80% silver composition. All right, so, you know, the silver was available all the way up to this point. And because of the rising prices of silver, as a matter of fact, during the 67 year, price of silver jumped up all the way up to $2 per troy ounce. Okay, to you and I, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you're still cranking out coins that are silver, okay, it makes a huge difference to your bottom line. All right, the U.S. Mint, they stopped producing any sort of meaningful silver coins 3 years prior. So, kudos for the Canadian Mint for even attempting to go further than what we did. All right, which is cool because silver coinage can be found all the way up to 68. Of course, in 68, they're 50% composition, in which the other half is copper. All right, so it's a silver copper mix on these coins. Now, the two images that you see here, I mean, it looks like the same coin, guys. Don't you agree? They have a bobcat. What one is just different, got a different light exposure. One looks more lustrous than the other. But that's where the similarities end on this one, guys. As a matter of fact, the coin on the left, okay, is a standard traditional silver bobcat reverse. All right, the coin on the right, however, is actually an experimental pattern comprised entirely of nickel. All right, and the cool thing about this coin is it is magnetic. All right, it sticks to a magnet. So, where does this coin come from? Well, the Royal Canadian Mint, they did a lot of neat experimental patterns and specimen strikes of that nature. Okay, they had it going on for the better part of the last 100 years. All right, so that's their way of kind of testing out planchets for the hardness, for the strike, and everything in between. So when the Royal Canadian Mint comes to a critical juncture in the production of their coins, when they're going from one composition that they've been used to utilizing to something else completely different, okay, in this case nickel, all right, they have to try it out. So during the 1967 year, all right, not only did they produce an 80% composition bobcat, they also did a 50% composition bobcat, and that is a reaction toward the rising prices of silver. Okay, $2 a troy ounce. Again, it's through the roof. But they also did some of these top secret strikes on nickel planchets. All right, that are very magnetized. So this coin right here sold on eBay. All right, out of all places. I mean, it is one of the biggest marketplaces in the world, to sell anything and everything, whether you're, on one side of the earth or the other. Okay, everybody seems to gravitate towards eBay as the marketplace, and I'm cool with that because I'm able to talk about coins like this. But this one right here sold for $4,500 Canadian, all right, which comes out to, let's see, I have it right here, folks, and it's 33.78 and 59 cents US. All right, it's a lot of money for a nickel pattern Bobcat reverse quarter. All right, so I guess the big question is, where do these come from? All right, we know they come from the Royal Canadian Mint. Okay, and they produce them for for the experimentation of a new planchet. Okay, the Royal Canadian Mint. They are notorious for actually handing out and selling these various experimental patterns. Okay, somehow, some way, a lot of them end up leaving the mint. Okay, whether they're given away, to authority figures, like senates and all that. It's a different hierarchy than what the U.S. is with, all that. But a lot of these experimental strike coins ended up being given away as a gift. Okay, same with the British Mint as well. Okay, a lot of those experimental strikes that they've produced over the years, okay, they eventually make it out into the marketplace because they're not shy about holding on to coins like this. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So this coin is graded, but not from what being that I'm a U.S. coin collector, like a lot of you are, and I get a lot of Canadian folks on my channel as well. Thank you guys. But they are this particular coin right here is graded through a company called ICCS. All right, so their coins are encapsulated in a almost like a 2x2 kind of flip, and then what they'll do is they'll insert that paper sleeve with the actual grading components on there. So this particular coin right here graded out ICCS Mint State 64. Okay, so that is the Canadian grading service of choice. Okay, there is also one other grading company in Canada that a lot of collectors kind of they head to for their grading needs. Of course, they also submit them to PCGS and NGC as well. So I must tell you that there is a pattern catalog number that goes with this. Okay, and that's what the DC34 is on this particular example. All right, finally, you guys are probably going to ask me, well, is this something that I could find and change? Probably not. That's a tough one, by all accounts, but this is a coin that typically you never know where it comes up. It could very well be in a collection that someone has had for 50 years or more, and it's a coin that can be easily overlooked, especially if you don't know exactly what you're dealing with, because for the longest time, these coins should be, they have two different compositions, so that kind of complicates things a little bit when there's a nickel, specimen pattern out there. Sometimes you just don't think, oh yeah, it's that this one looks a little bit duller in finish, therefore it's the 50% silver. And by the way, the two different other compositions in silver, the 80% and the 50%, there is virtually no weight difference. They're almost kind of tough to tell. The good thing is, well, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but both coins sell for a similar value. Even though one has a 50% composition and one's 80, they sell for the same amount of money. So, it's almost like it's kind of this acceptance that the coin is worth X amount of dollars across the board, regardless of what, I guess, silver composition value you have out of both coins. But anyways, I wanted to talk about this neat, pattern strike Bobcat reverse, coin. Again, because it is the Confederation Centennial that marks the 100-year anniversary. It's a neat coin. Okay, if you're into nature and wildlife, these coins certainly appeal to you. They appeal to me, especially because I've owned a number of these sets. Not the patterns, but just the regular strikes, the business circulation strikes that they made. But this was a really interesting coin. So yeah, it's worth a lot of money. Yeah, 4,500 Canadian or 3,400 US. It doesn't matter how you slice and dice this thing. This thing is amazing. But I want to thank everyone for joining in. Sorry, it's kind of a long-winded video. I could be kind of scatterbrained on these things and go all over the place. But this is what we talk about. Really neat coins that come across the auction block. Where are they about? Can you find them? Okay, this one's tough. Okay, it's not every day that you find something like this in change. More than likely, again, it's going to be something that's acquired through a collection. Most of your main Canadian coin dealers will already know what this coin is, so that's a tough call. Anyways, thank you for checking in on this really cool quarter. Give me a like if you enjoyed today's content. And, also check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you on the next one. Keep collecting, keep hunting.